Okay, so today you're going to access your cellular respiration model in Google Classroom, and you'll see there's lots of different resources here for your use, but you're going to go to the Google model here, and when you click it, it'll open into this document. And on this document, you are going to create your model. So the first way to get started is we got to insert a table. And I want 6 sections to mine. So I'm going to create a table. Instead of just 3 by 3, I'm actually going to go 3 by 4 so that I have a place for to write captions to explain what's going on. So notice what I did is I just took and drug my shape out. Sorry, that was kind of fast. I just took and I drug this part up and I drug this part down. Notice that I'm keeping it a ways from the outside of my paper because I need to have a margin in order for it to print. I cannot change the size of this document. You'll see here there's a place to pull and drag. If I do that, it won't allow me to print later on. So this is going to be the part where my drawing goes. This will be the part where I type. So I can move this down just by dragging it. And I can move this part up a little bit. Sorry, this part down a little bit. So essentially what I have here is some different sections for my model. Okay, so my writing will go here, drawings, and I can change and adjust these as I need to. So once I kind of have this set up, you can start to see the text boxes here and then the drawing areas here. And I could do the same thing if I wanted to just have 4 sections. I would go into insert table. I would do maybe 2 by 4. Okay, and that way I get the same structure set up. Okay, so now after we do that, we're going to go into this text box and we're going to dump in here a text box for our title. And I'm going to go over to where I have filled out my chart in the model design planning sheet. And so my model, I chose Poppins 48 for my title. So as I experiment and I find something I like, I'm going to record it in that sheet. So for me, I already went through this process. So cellular respiration. Okay, and maybe I want to get my name in here by Stacy Lilly. And I don't need my name to be so big because that's not as important as the title. So I'm going to go ahead and just go up to this and 18. Maybe I'm a little more important than that. Okay, so now I can center and click on this and go up and center. Okay, so now I have my title. So now what I'm going to do is start drawing. Now, the best tool to use for drawing is actually here in this section, and it's called the curve. And with this, what you need to do is every time I click my mouse, it allows me to change direction. So I want to create a shape that's kind of like some of those cells that we saw, but I want it to be more organic than just a circle. And so let's say, I kind of didn't like that one. I'm going to try it again. If I just go in and click it and then delete, I get rid of it. So I'm going to go in and try that again. I think I want it to be a little bit more longer shaped. Okay, now I know I've created my shape correctly when I'm able to link back to where I started and the color fills in. Okay, that tells me I correctly made my shape. So now I can go in and I chose for my colors shades of blue. So I'm going to make my shade of blue, or the shade of blue. Now notice I actually am still in this shape that I don't want to be in. If I hit escape right now, then it goes back and I'm out of that shape. Now this is a little bigger than I wanted for this, so I'm just going to take and drag it down a little bit, and I can move it wherever I want. I can rotate it using this circle and move it up a little bit. Okay, so I'm kind of liking that now. And the next thing I want to do is go in and put a text for this. Like, what am I actually showing in this? I'm going to be showing the cell membrane. So I'm going to come back to my my model, my subheadings are going to be Lato 24. So Lato 24. Okay. And I'm going to call this cell membrane. And I think because it's kind of the title of this section, I'm going to make it bold. Okay, and I can always play around with this later. One thing I noticed I hadn't done is it'd be nice to see the lines of my table. So I think format, borders and lines. I'm going to go into color, black. And now I've got my lines. So that's kind of nice because I can see a little better what's going on. And maybe just drag this guy down a little bit. And do the same here. And I can always play around with this later. So this is where I would actually write down what's happening with my cell. And so in this one, I want to show that I've got oxygen coming in and glucose. So I'm going to make oxygen. I'm just going to use a regular shape to show you how to do that. So I just went up and picked the circle shape and drew it. And then, I don't know, my oxygen is going to be yellow. Okay, so, and now since I put the shape on, or the oxygen on top, then it automatically shows on top of my cell. Now I'm going to use the curve connector to try to make what looks like a kind of more of a sugar shape. A little grain of sugar. Okay, and now I see that I clicked and then I clicked again, and so I got a new shape going. I'm just going to hit escape. Okay, and then I'm going to go up and change this to white. Awesome. And now I'm trying to show off my cell membrane. So I'm going to go in here and click my cell, and I'm going to go put a shape color on it. So it's going to be black, which it already is. But since I can't see it, it's maybe not thick enough. So I'm going to go to like 4. And now I could keep it like that. That looks pretty good. Or I could go in and I could change it to something a little more interesting. So now you start to see, maybe I want it even thicker. Yeah, I think I like that better. So now I've got my cell membrane, I've got oxygen, glucose, but it's kind of hard to tell what's going on here. So what I'm going to do is go in and add some text boxes. Now the beauty of this is anytime I get my formatting right, then I can use it and just copy and paste in my next boxes. So for example, if I go here, my cell part labels are Lato 18. So I'm going to go here and say 18, and I'm going to call this glucose. And okay, so I know that doesn't look very big, but at this point, I'm going to go in a little bit, view to 50%. Okay, so glucose turned out pretty good. And now what I can do is copy it, put it up here, and rename this one oxygen. Ooh, and I spelled it wrong, because that's what I do. Okay, and so now maybe bring my glucose up a little closer. Okay, if I want to get some lines in here, I could put a line in to connect. And that didn't seem like it worked. I'm gonna try that again. Now I probably don't want an arrow for this because that could get pretty busy. Somehow it won't let me even draw a line. I'm just gonna, not sure why that's not working. I'm gonna try reloading here. Okay, and I'm gonna go back to view. 50%. Okay. All right, I'm going to come back to that idea later. Now, if I go down here, this is where I'm going to actually explain what's going on in this. So I want to go, that's going to be my captions or my explanations. So that's 24 Sands, Josephine Sands. I think, I can't remember if that's what I just read or not. 24 Sands, 24. Okay, so this is where I explain cell membrane. Cell membranes part in cellular respiration. Okay, and now the beauty is, once I get this, once I get my cells that I like, boom, I just take, copy and paste, and I can put it into each of my drawings, and I'm ready to rock and roll. And once I get my text style that I like, copy it. If I got like text box that I like, copy it. Let me go back.